Hello, everybody, and welcome into another edition here on Bedford County Sports Live, the Jud Dryden Show. I'm Bill Anderson, your host. Alongside me, the head football coach of the Shelbyville Golden Eagles, and Jud Dryden. Today's show is brought to you by SLC Firearms Coach, 931-684-5731, 917 North Main Street, inside of Shelbyville Lumber. You go to plumbing, you hang a right, and then you're there. You see Chris Cartwright, Mike Matusik, and they'll have all your gunsmithing needs, your Hornady ammo, shotgun shells. Hey, they got it, folks. Christmas is coming up. What better gift, Coach, for a young man than his first rifle or shotgun?
I agree.
But if a man got really lucky and he went in Shelbyville Lumber, the Christmas Grinch might be there. Do you have any idea who the Christmas Grinch might be?
I do not. You're going to tell me who that might be.
It would be our good friend Ricky Epperson. And from Coach Jud Dryden and Bill Anderson, Ricky Epperson, this is your shout out of the day. And I know how much you appreciate it because you've let me know. All right, Coach. We'd won 10 in a row. Had a home playoff game. Up 7-0 at the half. We had over 300 yards total offense, and I think Centennial had 124. So we outgained them basically 3-1. 3 turnovers a killer.
3 turnovers will get you every time.
Yeah.
And it's an old adage, especially in the playoffs. Most playoff games are lost, not won.
Right.
And we fought our tails off. Our young men showed the grit that they've shown all year, and we came up short because of mistakes that we made, and Centennial made fewer. And so hats off to Coach Stewart and those guys as they prepare for Page, and they played a cleaner game than we did.
Defensively, you got to be so proud of Rocky, Radon, and a bunch of kids, but Rocky, Radon, Tyson Dunn had a big game. You all played great defensively the first half.
We did. We were dialed in. We had a good feel for what they were trying to do, and it came into being over the course of the game. And defense bailed us out of a couple of tight situations in the first half as well. And went into halftime feeling pretty confident in what we were doing, and they came out in the second half with that heavy package at one point, and the plan we had in place wasn't quite what we honestly had thought it would be as far as stopping that, and even though we were holding it to 3, 4, 5 yards per carry, that's still a first down every 2 or 3, and they
give them a short field. You're there,
and that's the other thing. We give them less than 40 yards, 3 times, and they're gonna take advantage. So, and they did. I mean, they're well coached and good football program.
What I was kind of excited about was your kicker kicking that 49-yard field goal that would have been good for 52, but there's a penalty. What was that penalty?
To be honest, I don't remember. If I have to be 100% honest,
because we're all sitting there on the sidelines going, "Well, what was that penalty?"
Yeah,
we really couldn't figure it out.
I really don't. I'm not sure, to be honest.
And you tried another field goal. The snap was too low. But again, though, your kicker's got the leg.
Oh yeah, and he's been good all year for
us.
Has. I mean, in all the phases of special teams. So Ben's been a very good, very big part of what we've done this year.
Well, you knew the Wildcat was coming. You knew number one at some point, and we waited till the second half.
Yep.
But coach, if you're their coach, don't you run it sooner than that? Or were they waiting for Kenny Parker made the comment that they didn't want you to see it too early? You'd seen it on film. That's what they ran against Columbia.
Yeah, we've seen it on film. Columbia and Hillsboro and several other So it wasn't a surprise when they came out. Like I said, we'd had it prepared. We were able to match personnel for personnel in that. We just did not execute our side better than what they executed theirs in that.
Number one for them was as good a player as I have seen this year.
Yes, there's no doubt.
He's the real deal.
He is very much worth the publicity he gets as a Mr. Football semifinalist. He's a dang good football player, and I've got a very good friend of mine that lives in Franklin that coached that young man for 3 years, and he said that he's as good of a person and as high character as he is football player.
I did feel like in the first half they threw a ball up to him. He's playing receiver, and William Bobo has got the pick.
Yeah, and
I thought they went right over his back. That's just what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty egregious, actually.
But
it is what it is.
There were a lot of no calls Friday night, and they happened on both sides of the ball. So as long all you can ask for out of officials is that they be
But
consistent.
William was fixing to pick that
So,
football.
I
And
think so,
actually, one
too.
makes a good play because he got away with it
Yep.
by breaking it up, because that was an
Yep.
interception.
Yeah, and like I said, as long as the game's being called the same on both sides of the
Right.
ball, I think that's all you can really ask for, and then you just
If
adjust
somehow we could have scored at the end of the first half, getting the ball back the second half, I think it's a totally different ball game.
it could be that keeps them from going into that heavy package and being able to
Right.
take time off the clock, and forces them to try to push the ball down the field, which plays into what we're good at and what we've been improving on all year. So. But it's just the game flow dictated otherwise, and
You're
we
down
came out
20-7. Your kids don't quit. You come back, you fire a pass to William Bobo from Lauderd.
Yeah.
You get it to 20-14.
Mm-hmm.
You get the ball back first and 10 at their 35.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a chance to go in and win.
We do.
What happened there?
We just as we go through, we just didn't execute well in the 2-minute hurry up. We didn't have timeout. We didn't have any timeouts left. We had to use them earlier in the half in order to deal with some personnel issues and a couple other things. So it's just like I said, game flow dictated that we do certain things certain ways, and we just came up short. So,
Coach, you get beat 20-14. Great year, 10 wins in a row. Page defeats Tullahoma 37-7.
mm-hmm.
I'm just going to bring up a couple other scores that are local. Moore County, Eagleville, 35-0. Moore County's rolling. East Robertson goes to Marion County, wins 24-7. Marshall County, 45-23 over Hardin County. And Smith County beat Fayetteville 45-12 this week in the playoffs. Centennial and Page.
Mm-hmm.
Be a pretty good ball game?
That's going to be an excellent ball game. It's hard to beat anybody 2 times in a row in the same season. And when it's in the quarterfinals, it's even harder. I'm sure that Centennial has some things that they've not shown at all yet in preparation for Page.
Well, I believe I'd show the Wildcat. I believe I'd show it a lot.
Well, and I mean, they very well may come out in it. I mean,
I think it's what I do.
Now for Page,
can that kid throw the football?
Supposedly can. I mean,
I've
I don't
heard
know.
that, but I really didn't see him do it against us.
No, he had a little pop pass in one game and a little tried to hit a little out in another, actually against Page, I think. But other than that, no. Now the kid's an athlete, so there's no reason to assume that he can't. That game's at Page, though, so it's going to be it's Page's game to lose.
And Page is running the football more than they'd have in the past.
Yes.
I mean, they're not throwing it 50 times a game.
Right, and I think they're good up front. They've got a running back that runs incredibly hard. They've got a great defense, and that's what's really been their mainstay all year is how good that defense is. Right. So it'll be a fun one to watch.
Southwind in Henry County. Are you familiar with – and that's Southwind in Memphis. I used to sell school supplies there.
Yep.
Southwind has destroyed everybody this year.
Right, and I don't know anything about
it. But
them.
I don't think they played the schedule Henry County's played.
No, absolutely not. Henry County's got a game against Riverdale under their belt. They got a game against Brentwood under their belt, plus their region is not easy.
No.
So,
And that would have been the matchup with the Centennial Page, am I wrong, at Southwind, Henry County?
Correct.
So that was the reason I want to mention that one. Marshall County travels to Pearl-Cohn. Poor Marshall County.
Yeah, they get
maybe the best team in the state.
Maybe across all divisions and all classifications, they're very, very good. So, and they have been for several years now, and this may be their year to be able to move on and win.
Oakland Riverdale. Riverdale upset them. Now it's at Riverdale. Yeah, that's going to be the battle of the boroughs.
It's hard to beat a team twice. And the way that game finished up for Oakland in that loss, they've probably got some things to prove. But shoot, Coach Kreisky at Riverdale he's done a great job. He's made the changes inside that program that he's needed to make, and they're rolling right now, and that's as good a Riverdale team as we've seen in a while.
I'll mention Giles County too. They're at Meigs County. I think Meigs County's undefeated, but I think Giles County's pretty good.
Giles County is good. I mean, Coach Connell does a great job there. I mean, but I think that'll be a hard-fought football game.
The game I'm thinking about going to is McKenzie. You sell them school supplies too in Moore County. This is the game Coach White had earmarked when he was trying to get more physical, was being able to play with these guys.
Yes, McKenzie's pretty good. We saw them quite, a little bit when we were out in West Tennessee, and they're very good, very physical, very strong. They're a lot like Huntington in a lot of ways with those types of kids and that kind of program. So it'll be a heck of a game to watch for sure.
The interesting thing to me is I will guarantee you one thing, guys. You get a chance to ride down to Moore County. It's worth the ride. If you can get a ticket, I think this thing's going to be a complete sellout.
Yeah.
Fire marshal shut it down. I don't know. But the best quarterback will be Moore County's quarterback, Coach White's son. This kid's special.
He is. And he's got a good group of kids around him. We were able to watch them a little bit in their Franklin County game, and what they did against Franklin County was it's obvious that that's a special group of young men that he has down there.
Well, today's show is brought to you, as always, and it'll be the last one for the football season. SLC Firearms, 931-684-5731, 917 North Main Street, inside Shelbyville Lumber. Go to Plumbing, hang a right, and you're there. Mike Matusik, Chris Cartwright, go see them for all your gunsmithing, gun cleaning, anything you need. If they don't have it, they'll get it pretty quick. Coach, let's talk a little bit about next year. Well, first, let's thank your seniors. You got a great senior class. You're going to miss them.
Yeah, I mean, that was hard. Monday was hard. Friday night was hard. We had guys an hour and a half after the game still out on the field. I mean, Coach McCullough said it best. When you've got guys that don't want to leave the field when they're done, right, something special has been going on. And we're going to miss them. We're going to miss their leadership. We're going to miss the way they do things, the way they went about business, the personality that they had and brought to our team. And it's they're all going to be incredibly hard to replace. And from a character standpoint, it's like I said, it's going to be tough with because they were the heartbeat of our team this year. And these juniors that'll be rising seniors for us, they've got quite a task ahead of them in filling those shoes of leadership and the way of going about business. So
let's talk a little bit about next year, the future. And I thank you and your staff. You brought Shelbyville football back. Our future's bright. We've got some folks coming back. There's some things to be quite excited about. You've got Rocky Chandler coming back. You've got William Bailey coming back. You've got people coming back.
We do. I mean, it's the core group of skill players that's coming back. They're incredibly talented. They're hardworking. They want to be good at what they do, so that'll continue. It's going to be hard.
You got a special freshman class coming into the sophomore class. I think that's a special group.
They are, but they're still going to be sophomores, sure. So there's a lot of growth there. We've got 2 holes on the defensive line and 3 holes on the offensive line that are all going to have to be filled by somebody. Now we don't know. I mean,
the Cates kids look like somebody can play to me. Is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but he's got to be able to show up and do the job consistently, and there's no reason to think that he can't.
Absolutely.
But it's not just him though. You've got several young men in the rising junior class that'll compete for spots. You have multiple young men in the rising sophomore class of offensive and defensive linemen. That the one thing that is unreal about this group that we have that's coming back to us for the next few years. For the first time in recent memory, Shelbyville football will have as many good, solid offensive and defensive linemen as they do skill guys. And I mean, that's
30 years.
I mean, there are just in that freshman, sophomore class, there are 12 guys that will all compete for spots.
Right. That's wonderful.
And, the senior class has 2 or 3. So, I mean, that's where it's at. So, then they've got the skill kids to go around them. So it's, the future does look good as long as we can maintain the trajectory that we're on, continue to hold the standard where it is and practice the way we're supposed to practice and approach the off season the way that we've done for the last 4 years. And, as long as we can make those things happen, the next few years look pretty good.
Coach, talk to me about this point set aside. We talked about it a little bit on Saturday, where they can get them, the kids. How's it work?
All players have a sign-up form on them. It's basically everything with this goes towards their player banquet. It pays for everybody's meal and awards and whatnot. So every dime goes to that.
What's that banquet be? You know yet?
I believe it is December 3rd, maybe.
Kind of meal you have,
I have no idea. That's those wonderful ladies in the Bush Club take care of all that.
I'm sure they will.
Not something that I've not had to worry about that, and they make it so easy to do the other stuff. So
right. But hey, real quickly, I know we can't thank everybody, but we've had a wonderful season. You won 10 in a row. We went 10-2, went from 1-10 to 10-2. But some folks that I want to thank personally, is Mary Lee Shaders and your quarterback moms. That plaque, that little picture you gave me after Fish Fry meant the world to me, with you and the staff. I've got it at my office on my desk.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
But there's just so many people to thank. The Fish Fry was a big hit, and thank Randy Clanton, and I want to thank Mr. Doak, Caleb Doak. He helped out with it, and Trip York and Billy Beach. That was a. I have not seen that at Central High School in years. But your parents make the difference.
They do. It's unreal. I mean, from dads and men in the community that volunteer to run the chains.
Yes.
And to people showing up to set up for games, to the concession stand, to the different fundraising things we do. It's amazing. And then the people that are out there that don't want their name mentioned when they do stuff is incredible. They don't want the shout out, so to speak, with their name. They just want to make sure the kids are taken care of. And I mean, that is, but I mean, it's like I said, there's so many. You're guaranteed to miss a significant number as you start going down the list. But I just want everybody to know that I'm not only grateful, but our young men in this program are grateful for everything that everyone has done for us. And I hope they never think we take it for granted, because they're reminded every day that we cannot take this for granted. I want to thank your
young men for going out to the youth of our community the way they have over and over, mentoring elementary kids. And I've heard it from a lot of people. You got a bunch of your boys doing that.
Yeah, we have a group of 24 right now, and they'll be rotating out in the next semester. We've got a group of 24 for this past semester that have gone into all of our elementary feeders and done whatever it was that the principals or teachers needed. It was whether it's hang out with a kid, pull a kid to read, just simply go play catch with somebody. It's whether it be in the classroom, at recess, or whatever. Spend time with them at lunch. It's just been whatever they needed. And I think our young men have grown from that, just from the service aspect of it, and knowing that, what they're giving is not something these kids can ever return specifically, but that they're making an investment in their lives. And I've watched our guys grow from that. And I think that's a huge part of what we're trying to do in our program.
Not only can you change with athletics, some of these kids' trajectories and their lives.
Yep.
But these kids can then get other kids to play football.
Right.
Or mentor them in another way and help them there. It's just a chain.
Yeah. When we met with Gary Cooper about them coming on, about us partnering with him and Cooper Steel in making this happen, it was amazing how parallel the visions were. It's one of those that it's the old cliche of paying it forward. That's what these guys are doing. And the vision that Gary had for his 12-12 program, in conjunction with the things that we wanted to do to be able to have an impact and on kids, it's just amazing. And to have someone in the community that was willing to give so much in order to make that happen, it takes a special heart to do that. And he definitely has that.
Well, guys, we're going to miss doing the show. We're going to miss Shelbyville football, but there's another person that needs to be thanked for bringing you the show. And it's David Thomas. Because if it wasn't for you, David, none of this would have happened. Nobody, and there's a ton of people watching this because you tell me every day and I hear it. But we couldn't have had this forum without David Thomas. And David, thank you sincerely, because it's been good for the kids. It's been good for everybody here. And we can't thank you enough for it. Coach, can't thank you and your staff enough. Can't thank you enough. It's been great doing this. This is a show I'm going to miss. But the one thing I may miss the most, and I hate to admit it, is the shout out to Ricky Epperson. I may miss that the most.
I'm sure he will not miss it.
He's going to miss it. I think he deep down really likes it.
Maybe. I'll trust you on that one.
Guys, we're going to come back. If Coach Dryden will do it again next year, and we'll start right about scrimmage time before the first game. The first game will then be at Siegel, so it's an inverted schedule, correct?
Sure. Yep.
So everything was home's now away, 5-5.
Yes. Yep.
So the first game will be at Siegel next year. And we might start a week or two early, depending on what we're doing with scrimmages and whatnot, just to get people updated. But David and I would love to have you on some of these Saturday shows whenever you can do it.
Whenever I'm available.
Whenever you're available, we'd love to have you here. And we've got a show on Saturday morning. And Kenny Parker, good luck duck hunting. My fellow Commissioner Drew Hooker will be with me and David at 9 a.m. on Saturday. And we'll have the Shane Young Show, of course, every Monday at 5:30 to remind everybody. Coach, great year. Congratulations. Thank you for bringing Shelbyville Golden Eagle and your staff for bringing Golden Eagle football back.
It's been our pleasure.
Thank you. I'm Bill Anderson for Coach Dryden. Everybody have a good evening.